Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
just fine. Let's
Let's
have
have
a
a
late
late
night
night
conversation.
conversation. How's my hair?
It looks great.
What clothes should I wear?
What you got on is fine. Let's
Let's have
have
a
a late
late
night
night
conversation.
conversation.
And now, from his studios in
Doobie-doo-ah,
Indianapolis, Indiana, your guest host for this morning's
doobie-doobie-doo-ah.
Late Night Conversation, Zach Brown.
Thank you, Jeff Jeffries. Catchy theme song, by the way, if I do say so myself. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Late Night Conversation. My name is Zach Brown. Glad to have you guys with us. A few quick things. First off, this is not meant to be a replacement for Jacob's incredible conversational segments with guests. Not at all. Jacob and Terran usually pre-record the show during the late morning, early afternoon hours during the week. Jeff Jeffries will have some information for you guys on how you can be a guest on the show at the end of this morning's program, so stay tuned for that. And finally, the ideas and topics that are being discussed on this morning's conversation have not been shared with Terran prior to taping. So, as to the reason why I am here, as you might have guessed, it's Memorial Day weekend. So as a result, we do not have a new late night conversation for you this week. Instead, we are going to play for you the very first conversation that Jacob had with Terran Ray from way back in January 2025. This was when Jacob and Terran Ray actually met for the first time. And I'll give you a fun fact about this particular episode. Sometimes before tapings, Jacob Pyle will have us sit down as a group and discuss some of the things about the show. And prior to taping this episode, we had just finished taping a Christmas special around this time, and was when I actually got to meet Terran Ray Smith for the very first time. And also got to meet Brian T. Shirley for the very first time as well, who got to guest announce on this particular Christmas special. And it was just, so much fun for the four of us just to sit down on a Zoom call, get to know each other. And because, as voice actors and even as friends, you learn a lot about the person just by sitting down and having a conversation. That's how the show was thought up. I will be back at the end of the show with a few closing thoughts, but here is Jacob's first ever conversation with Terran Ray Smith. Enjoy.
My guest for tonight is an on-camera personality, a voiceover artist, and a really amazing singer. Please welcome to our show, Miss Terran Ray Smith. Welcome to our program.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
I kind of asked this 2 weeks ago when we did my Christmas special, but for those who missed it, tell the folks out there a little something about yourself.
Absolutely. So I'm from the great state of Kansas. I absolutely love being from this state. I went to KU where I studied broadcast journalism. I've been working in multimedia and entertainment for about 15 years, and I'm super close with my dad and my dog, Fiona.
I mentioned this to you several weeks ago, but you're coming from Kansas City, Kansas. My grandma, believe it or not, also lives in Kansas. Ottawa, Kansas to be more precise. Are you familiar with where Ottawa, Kansas is?
I know where it is. I think my dad used to sell some medical equipment there back in the day, but I don't know that I've ever spent the night there. I might have driven through it, though.
It's about roughly less than an hour southwest of Kansas City. I think I've only been there once, but it's a really nice town. Now, what made you interested in becoming a broadcaster or a broadcast journalism major, if you want to call yourself that?
Well, I've just always loved performing, and I've always loved talking, and I've always loved disseminating information. I think that's how we become better as a society, is by communicating with each other, and it just seemed like a good fit. I've always loved being creative, and so I went for it.
Okay, cool. One thing I wanted to do is share with our audience how you found me. Basically, you found me at the same place that Zach Brown found me, through Upwork. So what happened was, I was in desperate need of a guest announcer to fill in for Paul Poteet for the Christmas special. Paul himself wasn't able to take part in it, and we already planned on having Zach Brown doing something else for the special. So the first person that popped up on my Upwork was you, and originally we were going to have you be the guest announcer. But what amazed me about you, I was looking through your portfolio, and I was amazed with how professional you were. And so we ended up hiring you on as a co-host for the special, and Brian T. Shirley was kind enough to step in as the announcer for the special. Did you ever watch any of my episodes of the show prior to the Christmas special? And if so, what was your first impression of me?
Yeah, I perused through your channel and watched little clips here and there, And thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. And then when you asked me to return, I was just like, absolutely, because you've just been nothing but positive to work with. And I really appreciate your professionalism and organization. And yeah, I think my first impression of you was just that you have great energy. You're very consistent, and you seem to like to bring positivity to people's lives, and that is what I'm all about. So I think it's a good fit.
Thank you. I appreciate that ever so much. I don't have. Let's see. We're at 4 minutes and 12 seconds. I'm going by this timer because I forgot to set up my timer on my phone. There was one thing I wanted to do with you. I saw on Instagram this cute video of you and your dad playing this little game. I don't know if you call it a game or it's like a challenge, but you guys were trying to use a little ESP and see if you could predict what song the other person was going to sing. And I wanted to kind of play that game with you too, if you don't mind.
Yes, so that's a trend that I saw happening. It's just happening on social media, and all you do is you both think of a Christmas song in your head, and then you do 3, 2, 1, and you count down. You both start to sing the first couple lines of it, and see if you end up singing the same song together.
Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, let's. And by the way, just for our folks at home who are watching this, we're at the day this is being taped. It's actually 5 days before Christmas, but the show is actually not going to air until January 5th, which is after New Year. So if you guys do not want to listen to any more Christmas music, feel free to mute this, fast forward through it, whatever. But we're going to have some fun with Christmas songs. Is that okay?
Yes, don't let your Christmas spirit die just because Christmas is over.
Yeah. Christmas, yeah, Christmas only comes once a year, but but if you keep thinking in your head, that Christmas is in about all the wonderful things Christmas can bring, you can it's kind of like you're celebrating it every day of the year.
So true. I feel the same way about Halloween.
Right. Okay. So I'll let you do your thing. I'm going to see if I can think of a Christmas song in my head.
Yeah, let me know when you think of one, and I'll do the countdown.
All right, and then we'll just do this for till this timer hits 10 minutes. So, okay, I got one.
Okay, I'm gonna do the countdown. So I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then on go we start singing. So 3, 2, 1.
Frosty the Snowman, it was a fiery
all the way. What were you singing?
Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, okay, I missed it. All right.
All right. Let's do another one.
All right.
Let me think of one.
All right, I got one.
It. Me too.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Yes! No way! We did it on the second try. If you saw that video of my dad and I, we did it like 8 times and we never aligned. So that's good. We're mind mouthing.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's what's a lot of fun. I mean, when you're actually, well, that's what I miss the most about having co-hosts. I've had other co-hosts before, and I always try to figure out, I always like to have someone to kind of play off with, and it makes it a lot of fun. And it always helps to have someone else right there, just to kind of be like just to have a little bit of fun and
that banter.
Kind of be like, hey, just to kind of interact with, even for just 10 minutes. I think that's that's a lot of fun. But yeah, here we still have about a few more minutes. You want to try one more?
Sure.
Just for the heck of it? Just for the heck of it.
Think of one.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I got one.
All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Feliz Navidad.
You better not
Feliz
cry.
Navidad.
You better not pout. I'm telling you why.
Okay, I cheated. Okay, that time I cheated. I was getting into.
You just
Feliz
went into
Navidad.
it. You were like Feliz Navi, telling you why.
Yeah, right. Well, I think I gotta ask you this too. What did you think of my singing? I mean, what do you think of my singing voice?
Oh, I think you're great. You're very passionate about what you do, and you are confident, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear, and you do that. And I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to do a song for you, Terran. And are you a big Disney? I bet you you're a Disney fan, aren't you?
I am. I narrate for a Disney YouTube channel. I'm a huge Disney fan. Yeah.
Have you watched Toy Story?
Of course.
Yes.
We used to have it on VHS.
Let me see. There's a song. Every year when we welcome a new member of or a new co-host to the Jacob Pyle Show family, I always welcome them with this song. Let me see if I can get it up here. And I tell people you're more than welcome to sing with me on the song if you want. That's completely and totally up to you. But I'm going to do a cover version of Randy Newman's "You've Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't Randy Newman's Short People.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like I know that I never knew he even. The first time I heard him sing "You Got a Friend in Me," I thought that was the first time I heard of him. Honestly.
Same.
So, yeah. All right, here we go.
All right.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from a nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you've got a friend in me. 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 You've got troubles and I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and can see it through, 'cause you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and more, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Da 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 da. Yeah.
That was lovely, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Very good.
Yeah. No problem. We still got about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. What are you looking forward to most with this new show?
You know, I am just looking forward to getting to know you and the team better, and also, you know, I used to co-host as an anchor on a radio station, on a few radio stations years ago, and I've just missed that. Like you said, like co-hosting alongside someone. It's just nice. You get like good feedback. There's a lot of good back and forth. I'm excited about just touching on, you know, positive stuff in our shows, and also helping people stay up to date with, you know, anything that's happening in the world, but doing it in a positive way. So those are some of the things that I'm looking forward to. What about you?
I will tell you right now, we don't do current events on the show. We don't do politics. We don't do any of that stuff. We just usually like the Instagram trends thing is a cool idea, like we did earlier with the ESP thing.
Soft things, not
soft things.
The hard.
Yeah, because I think we used to close way back when. We used to close our shows with a closing commentary at the end of the show. But we ended up having to quit doing it because, and the reason for that was because we had a guest complain about we were doing this thing on Justin Bieber one week, and one of the guests were complaining about that, and they said they actually threatened us to not take part of the show anymore if that was included in the show. So we ended up editing it out. And
no Justin Bieber allowed.
Yeah, and we decided that we were just gonna. And one other time we had a guy when we first started doing this particular show. I had a co-host on, and he wanted to talk current events and stuff like that. I told him no, and he literally threw a bunch of cuss words out on me, and yeah, it was insane.
That's not an esteemed guest.
That is no. Sorry, that's not how things work around here, unfortunately.
No.
So.
No. Respect. R-E-S-P-C-T.
Tell me what it means. I can sing as high as Aretha Franklin did. That's crazy.
I mean, I can try, but I don't think I can hit all the notes she can hit.
Yeah. Aretha Franklin is a legend. Like I read a story once that she actually grew up. I think she had kids or something that lived in Kokomo, Indiana, one time, and then when she passed away, it was an interesting story. I didn't even know that before. That's until after she passed. It was crazy.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah, she was one of a kind. I'll tell you that much. I knew you were waiting for me. That's one of my favorite ones. It was that duet with George Michael. Yeah, so
our topic is about music and mainly duets. One of our features of the show is the chances that Terran and I get to sing a song for you guys. Most weeks I'll be singing. Some weeks Terran will be singing. Some weeks we will be singing songs together. The hardest part, I have to admit, is trying to figure out what kind of songs the other person knows. I mostly sing older songs. But most of the time the other person does not know these songs. Let me ask you right from the get-go, Terran, what kind of songs do you like singing?
You know, it's funny. I actually do like a lot of classics and older songs because I'm super close with my dad. So, I mean, I will sometimes sing stuff all the way back to the doo-wop era. I like, classic stuff, Stevie Nicks, Jimi Hendrix. But then I also like to sing a lot of, like, pop songs or, just classic ballads. I'm also a big musical theater person. I really like indie rock, alternative. I pretty much like it all. I love music.
Well, hang on. So another thing, we were kind of talking about this the other day. One of the songs that you and I are going to be doing later is a song called "King of the Road." Now, you were telling me your dad knows the song. How does your dad know? How does your dad know the song? Was he around when the song first came out?
He probably was. I'm not sure what year it came out, but
1965.
1965. Well, he was born in 59. So yeah, it probably came out when he was a small kid, and I've heard him sing that song randomly over the years, and I never really knew the name, but then once you told me about it, and then at first I was like, yeah, I don't think I know that song, and then I played it, and I was like, oh, for 15 cents, I know this song.
Yeah. Another thing I mentioned to you as well is the first song I ever recorded was back in 2008, when a friend of mine and I recorded a cover version of Elton John and Kiki D's Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Mm-hmm. After we finished singing that song, a lot of people in Sharpsville was coming up to me and asking me to sing the song, and at the moment I didn't have anybody to sing with, so I came up with the idea of singing the song solo. And for many years I've always done that. Recently, when we featured as our guest Darby DeFord, she was kind enough to record the girls' vocals in the song. And now with you as my co-host, Sharon, I would like to return back to that song on a future episode of the show and sing that song with you.
Yeah, I would love to do that. That I think would be so fun. That's such a good song. Reminds me of the movie The Little Rascals.
Yeah. Are you a big Elton John fan?
Love Elton John, absolutely. Tiny Dancer is kind of me and my dad's song.
Yeah. I think, yeah, Elton John. The first, actually, one of my. You were telling me last week that when I sang "You Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story, that 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 you were a big Disney fan.
Oh yeah.
But what was amazing was Elton John actually Elton John actually contributed to one of the Disney movies, The Lion King,
Mm-hmm.
and he did. And what I love, one of my favorites is The Circle of Life. I don't.
Yeah.
I
It's a wheel of fortune. Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah, yeah, it's an amazing song. I think that's what kind of sets the tone for the whole movie. I think because it reminds us about the song kind of reminds us that we're you know every one of us has a circle of life.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the time we were little kids to people that are like 99 that are like 99 100 years old and stuff like that. And I have to mention this because now I know that we're not going to get into current events on the show, but but there was one thing I thought was so cool. And when um, Jimmy Carter passed away, President Jimmy Carter,
Mm-hmm.
he died at 100. He was 100 years old, the oldest living president at the
Yep.
time. And during his later years in life, he was out, doing a lot of these cool stuff. Like he was in Indiana doing these humanity things, building homes, doing all this stuff. I mean, he was a great American president. I wasn't around. You and I weren't around when he was president, but from what I heard, he was an amazing president, and it was sad that he passed away. I mean, but of course now he earned the title of oldest living president, which I think was previously held by Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, I think triple digits is such an incredible thing to see. While it's always sad when someone passes away, to be able to experience that much life. I had a great uncle who made it to 100 the other year. He passed away shortly after, and so did his wife, but she was almost 100. And like, just anytime someone is able to get to triple digits, while it's sad to see them go, it's all you can really do is be grateful that they got to experience such a long life.
Yeah. Now comes the next question. Well, let me ask you this: Did you ever ask your uncles when they were still around? What was the secret to longevity in life?
I did ask my aunt and my uncle, like how really what was even more amazing than how long they were alive was also like the fact that they had been together for so long. But I remember my Uncle Bob, he did stand-up comedy at every family get together that we had. Even the last one that he had a couple weeks before he passed away, he was standing up and doing comedy. And, I think that they both just like really appreciated the small things in life and like really appreciated laughter. And I think it's so true without sounding trite. Laughter is the best medicine.
It is. All right. I will say that I will tell you this. With the minute we have left, I did a song. Going back to the thing about music, I actually performed. I was going through one time where I was going through a rough period in life where I felt nobody cared about what I do, about my podcast and stuff. But I actually signed up for a church challenge show, and I got up there to sing "My Girl," the Temptations song "My Girl."
Yes.
And everybody was clapping along to the song. And then at the end of the song, everybody was up on their feet applauding, and that was what I needed to hear. And now, ever since then, I've gotten the encouragement back to go back into doing podcasts again. So if it weren't for that experience, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Oh, that's great, and you are your own best encouragement too, but it is nice to be received by your community and to have that support and that affirmation that, expressing yourself is helping other people see happiness too. It's important. I'm glad
All
you're
right.
still creating.
That was Jacob's first ever conversation with Terran Ray Smith. Good job. Lovely conversation as well. Normally, at the end of each week's conversation, since this is a positive show, Jacob and Terran Ray will usually share some sort of positive affirmation to our viewers. Jacob asked me to share this one, and it's a quote from the late Audrey Hepburn. She says, "Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible." From my studios in Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm Zach Brown. Jacob Pyle and Terran Ray Smith will be back with you again next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And finally, if you hear someone snapping their fingers in the middle of a Saturday night, don't worry, we're just snapping our fingers to the beat of another late night conversation. Thank you all for watching, stay safe, and good night, everybody.
Dooby doo ah, dooby dooby doo ah, dooby 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 doo ah, dooby doo ah, dooby dooby doo ah, dooby dooby doo.
If you'd like to join us for a future late night conversation, or if you are ordering a DVD copy of tonight's program, send Jacob an email. His email address is jtpile1@aol.com. Or if you're ordering a DVD copy of tonight's program, send $10 check or money order to A Late Night Conversation, care of Pyle Media Ventures, Post Office Box 130, Oakford, Indiana 46965. Please include the air date seen on the screen when ordering. Residents outside of Indiana and Kansas will pay $5 shipping and handling. Sorry, no CODs. This program has been pre-recorded. For A Late Night Conversation, this is Jeff Jeffrey speaking.
I gotta go.
Why so soon?
It's the end of the show.
Oh, now I know.
This has been a late night conversation. Don't freak.
Why not?
Well, I'll be back next week
And so will I.
for another late night conversation. Hey, Jacob, when does this song end?
I don't know.
How about right now? Do
Wah.
Woo! Yay, that was fun. See you next week.